Recent terror attacks in Afghanistan have now created a massive roadblock in the peace process. Will terror and war prevail in Afghanistan once again? Afghanistan's President Ashraf Ghani has announced a resumption of offensive operations against the Taliban as two deadly attacks rocked the country yesterday. Ghani's comments came after the gunmen stormed a maternity clinic in Kabul. Newborn babies and mothers were among the 16 killed in this ghastly attack. The Taliban has denied any involvement in this massacre.
Urban او سول لپاره د ولس علماء کرامو حکومت او نړیوالې ټولنې د بار غوښتنو باوجود لا هم طالبانو له جنگ او افغان وژنې څخه لاس نه دی اخیستی او زموږ په هیوادوالو عوامه ځایونو یې خپل بریدونه زیات کړي دي. نو د هیواد د دفاع د هیوادوالو عوامه تاسیساتو د امنیت او خوندیتوب او د طالبانو او ټولو تروریستي ډلو او ګروپونو.
Meanwhile, the Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the blast during the funeral in the Nangarhar province. At least 24 people were killed as mourners gathered to pay their last tributes to a police officer. The Taliban has now warned Afghan forces of attack, saying that it was ready to fight back. Earlier, the group had accused the Ashraf Ghani government of escalating violence in the war-torn nation so that it could remain in power. The accusations come as the U.S. pushes for a peace deal between Kabul and Taliban. The U.S. Secretary of State called for unity among the Afghan people as he condemned these attacks. The U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan, Zalmay Khalilzad, called for cooperation between the Taliban and the Afghan government in the fight against terror. Calling for justice, India said that the perpetrators of the attacks must be punished. In a statement, the country's External Affairs Ministry said, and I quote, India strongly condemns the barbaric terror attack against innocent civilians, including women and children. We call for an immediate cessation of terror activities and violence and cooperation to deal with the humanitarian situation arising from the spread of coronavirus in Afghanistan. Beyond's Kabul correspondent Mustafa Kazemi has more.
Following yesterday's attack by Daesh terrorists on a maternity hospital here in Kabul, Afghanistan, which killed 24 mothers, newborn babies, medical workers, midwives and other civilians, and at least 10 of them were wounded, Afghan President, shortly after the attack ended, came on the record and ordered all Afghanistan's forces to move out of the defensive status and form an offensive status and start attacking insurgents and terrorists all across the country. This incident, which was gruesome and very sad in its nature, sparked global condemnations inside and outside the country. The insurgents, Daesh and other groups were quiet for a few hours until the attack ended. The Taliban, however, said they had nothing to do with the attack at the beginning of it, but just a few hours later, Islamic State or Daesh claimed responsibility of the attack. The Afghan president's ordering of Afghan military forces into an offensive shape to attack terrorists has implications for the ongoing Afghan peace process. The Afghan military forces were staying on a defensive status, according to government sources, because they wanted to show a gesture of goodwill to the Taliban as the peace process, release of Taliban prisoners and other efforts were on the way to stop the war in Afghanistan and bring an end to this 20 years long conflict in the country. But now analysts and other military knowledgeable individuals say and believe that this act of the Afghan president moving the military forces into an offensive status is going to cost the Afghan peace process and all the efforts that were made over the past 1 year, especially the US-Taliban peace deal that was signed in Doha, plenty of cost. This is Mustafa Kazemi for WION in Kabul. World is One.